Hi, welcome. I'm Jessie Walters from Charles Rutenberg, and I'm here today with Shannon Minsch from Charles Rutenberg too. We're both at the same office. Yay! We're both realtors, and we just wanted to have a talk with you guys and just kind of discuss the market and talk about, basically what we do. Shannon's been with Charles Rutenberg for like 3 years?
Yes.
Nice. And I've been there so long that I feel like I was like number 220, and now there's like 2,300 agents.
Yeah, I
or
thought it
something.
was 2,000 last I heard,
Yeah,
but I'm
2,000.
sure.
Yeah, it's over 2,000 now. I know. I feel so. Well, I want to lie and say I was number 2,000. Otherwise, it just makes you sound old. I was number 200. Yeah,
Experience, not old.
Yeah, and that's what I found out too. If you're poor, you don't say you're poor, or like when I was growing up, I was like financially challenged. That's what you're supposed to say. Financially challenged. I'm like, okay, I was financially challenged. So then I went to real estate and been helping people ever since. So we were talking about the market, and just we have some listings that Shannon has some listings and I have some listings, and we can kind of go over them, and you can kind of take us through the listings that you have. We'll put those up, and then we can go one by one. I don't know if they're going to just throw them up, or if you want to say like the name of which one you got. Oh,
perfect. So here we've got this one. It's 7952 Abbey Brook Circle. This one's actually in the Epperson Lagoon. Have you been up to Epperson? Are you familiar?
Nice. Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know about Epperson, it's literally incredible. There'll be some photos as you come up. The golf cart comes with the listing.
Nice.
But it is a golf cart community. The Lagoon community is the first of its kind in the country. It's a 7.5 acre crystal lagoon. It's not chlorinated. I think the lagoon photos are going to be like way further down towards the end of it, but they've got like a swim up bar, they've got cabanas, kayaking, paddleboarding. It's like your own little Caribbean vacation. And then this is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath home. It's a little over, I think it's like 3,200 square foot. It's got tons of upgrades. It backs conservation.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And we've got it listed at $649 right now.
That's
so
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Price. That's a nice price for the square foot and stuff in there too.
Yes.
Yeah. The other day I drove by, and I know it's been cooler, so it looked like, oh my gosh, like for kids, I just can't imagine. Like, I mean, that'd be like paradise. I'd be like, I can't wait to get home from school and run in there and jump on they have all the little bouncy bouncy slides,
like the inflatable slide in there. So it's kind of funny. I grew up down in Fort Myers, and I went to college in Orlando. And after college, I moved out to Seattle for 10 years before I came back. And so my best friend from college went into the Army as an officer, and she actually got stationed at Fort Lewis in Washington. And so we sort of like followed each other back and forth across the country.
Right.
Well, when she got out of the military, she moved to Tampa, where she's from. And then this happened to be where my husband's job was when we moved back to Florida.
Oh, nice.
And so she was living downtown off Bayshore in this like bougie condo at the time. And I didn't know the area very well. So I was like, oh, I heard about this new lagoon community. I was thinking about looking up there. And she was like, Shannon, if you move to Wesley Chapel, I am never visiting you ever. And I was like, ew, okay. So I didn't even look at it. And then no lie, 3 months later, she bought in this community. And I was like, girl, we could have been neighbors. So I actually spend a lot of time up in Epperson. I work in Epperson a lot. It's an amazing community in Wesley Chapel. And the amenities are absolutely killer. It's vacation living at its finest.
Yeah,
so
nice.
It's an incredible community.
Yeah, it's really nice in there.
Thank you.
Like for kids and for just pretty much, you could retire there. I mean, you don't have to have your own pool because you've got all those amenities,
Correct.
Yeah, and then you look at
that. So
that's
actually the VIP area of the lagoon. You can rent that out. They've got cabanas. Those are floating cabanas inside.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you can see it's literally like a Caribbean vacation in your backyard. You can drive your golf cart there. That's the bar, and then they have like a swim up area to the bar. Nice. They do like movies in the park and live music and all sorts of stuff. It's an incredible community.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, it was so sad when I seen it like just cold. I was like, oh, because usually it looks like, I mean, not a madhouse, but it's just, everybody in the community is there enjoying it, so it looked like definitely like vacation. So it's nice. Yeah, so I know you have another listing. What's the next one? The address of
which one are they pulling up? Are you guys going to do? Okay, so this is Safety Harbor. So this is 3147 Teal Terrace.
I love Safety Harbor.
In Safety Harbor. Yeah. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath pool home. I think it's about 1,400 square foot. I don't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head. It's literally like 3 miles from the Safety Harbor resort and spa.
Okay.
And then I think it's about
Have you ever gone in there?
I have.
I like it, but I pretend like I'm from like the 60s, you know what I mean? Like because it's kind of like everything is 1960s, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I like it in there. It's pretty cool.
I love
and
it.
The view is amazing.
Yes.
In back. Yeah.
I'm a spa girl. I feel like that's like my mothership.
Yeah.
Any chance I have to spend time at the spa, I'm going to.
I didn't know like it's so funny because that spa we went to and everything, I didn't know that because it's just mainly girls. And so girls are always coming. But anyway, it was like everywhere you went, there was like, people just, so friendly. And like you're in the bathroom and usually people are just keeping themselves like, hey, what are you guys doing? Where are you guys going? We had friends everywhere. It was great. So relaxing.
So I love this. It's a great price for a pool home in Pinellas County. And it's huge, oversized corner lot. I love it. And you're like 6 miles from downtown Dunedin.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't go wrong. It's in a flood zone X, so it doesn't require flood insurance, even though you can see how close to the bay it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a nice place. Safety Harbor has, I think it's every first Friday or every last? They have a celebration.
I think it's third Friday.
Third Friday.
In Safety Harbor.
So, and Dunedin has a lot of the different, markets and stuff just same like Safety Harbor. But that's pretty much, you can ride your bike there, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of bike riders and they go to the festivals and stuff like that there. It's a nice area.
Lots of golf carts too.
Yeah.
My goal one day is to live somewhere that I can just like drive my golf cart everywhere.
Yeah.
Decorate it with a bunch of flamingos.
Yeah, don't make the news. Where they pull you over in your golf cart. Is your golf cart got the tags and all? You see all the.
I'll be street legal.
Yeah. Make sure.
One day.
Yeah. So I have listings too, but I think, do you have one more listing?
I have one more.
Okay.
I have this one is 2280 Stickney Point Road, Unit 423. This one is in Sarasota. Mm-hmm. It's a 55 and up condo complex. It is on the second floor, but it has an elevator. That's nice. No worries there. Completely renovated. Yeah. This one is cash only because of, the community just requires it to be cash. A lot of condos, it seems like, are going that way.
Yeah, true.
It's just getting harder and harder for the community to get financing. So we've got it priced really wonderfully. It's like 3 miles from Siesta Key. Not 3 miles, 3 blocks from Siesta Key.
That's great.
And it's just, the location is incredible. Retirement at its finest.
Do you know if they have rental restrictions as far as like...
You have to own it for 2 years before you can rent it.
Right.
And I believe it's 7-month minimum lease after 2 years.
So you're not doing the like bed and breakfast and stuff like that just because that location is just so awesome.
Right. But they really do want it to be, people that live there primarily.
Right.
Even if you're, snowbirding and doing it half the year, the price is just incredible. That pool is heated year round. But it is a 55 and up community.
Okay. And we were talking prior to on the break about the, you said it was a land lease. So
this one is on a land lease. Yes.
Okay. So explain that to people just so they know what a land lease.
Sure. So with a land lease, the community doesn't actually own the land. Mm-hmm. They're on a lease, right? And they're usually about 100-year lease for those. We've got about 50 years left on this one.
Right.
And so what'll happen after that land lease is up is it has to be renegotiated with the owners of the actual land. So that's where it gets a little funny with financing. A lot of lenders, I shouldn't say a lot, some lenders will lend on a land lease, but the lease has to be up after the mortgage. So with 50 years left, you should be able to get financing on this.
Right.
But all of the past homes have been purchased at cash. And at $239, in a 55 and up community, it's actually a really good price point.
Right. So what is the monthly on it?
For the HOA, it is in the 400s. I want to say it's like 426 or something.
Yeah,
it's not
it probably
bad.
Includes obviously garbage, some extras, there too.
Right.
Does it include cable and water or?
I will have to look at all of this.
Don't ask
bear with
questions.
me. Yeah, I try to keep them all.
It's
straight.
like I'm buying it. What about this?
I think it includes. I believe
I'm not old enough.
Water, but I would have to double check it.
Can I get in with a fake ID?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But they do an interview. You have to be approved by the HOA.
Yeah, so. Put some gray highlights in. And just don't do your hair. Yeah. So okay, that's great to know. I got some. Now mine, the listings I have sold some of them, but I'll go through some of them. I had Bramblewood, which is a great house. That one I closed on, and that one was located in Orchid Lakes in Port Richey. And people were always asking, like, what's the market doing? Well, this one was a cash buyer. He literally was like, I'm going to do the inspection. Contractor did the inspection himself. And then he was like, okay, when can they get out? And this is the elderly lady, and well, not elderly, but older lady, and her husband had passed away, and she had some heart conditions, and we were trying to get her to get out of the house, and without saying, aren't you gone yet? This guy wants to buy it cash. Quick, get out. You know?
Yeah.
And so anyway,
Takes time.
Yeah. She kept saying, he went under contract, and then he was like, get out, you know? So, but she did what we did with her, because we had to do some creative stuff because her house wasn't ready to move to. So she was relocating. So what we did was we got the pods, put the stuff in the pods, and then the new home she was purchasing, we put the pods, we asked the owners if we could put them in their yard. And so the new, the sellers, they said, yeah, you can put them right here in the yard. So we put them beside, so it was like a lot of creative stuff to make it happen.
Sure.
And for like older people and stuff, it was like a lot of stress for them. So we were trying to save it, so there wasn't any stress. So then she then purchased a home too, which I think I have that picture. That one's on Pike. And then there's just one picture and has her with congratulations. And she looks really happy. So I was going to throw that picture up, but I don't know what the picture actually looks like. But it said congratulations on it. But she was really, really excited. And she had her granddaughter coming through every room, every house, and picking out like that's where, so she purchased the new, and we put the pods on the side, and then she had her little picture up and stuff, but she's super, super sweet lady, super cute. And like I said, her granddaughter would walk in, her name's Penelope, and she'd walk in and go, this is my room. And then she would go, you're not having that room. That's the master. And they would fight. It was hilarious that through the whole house. And I'm going to put this here. No, you're not. This is going to be my house. You're not going to come over. I can ride my bike from my dad's house. You're not going to ride your bike here. The whole thing was like a comedy.
Future real estate agent, it sounds like.
Yeah,
or a decorator.
At the end, I ended up giving her a little gift with, because they call her P, with a little initial on it that said P. And I said, could you help me so much? And she FaceTimed me. And she was super cute. And when she FaceTimed me, oh, there's Joanne. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So she was super happy and stuff. But when she FaceTimed me, I was out like walking, and I had my hair in a ponytail, and I had big dark glasses on. And this kid is so hilarious. She just looks at me like, what happened to you? Because you just had my hair done. And I look professional, but I did not, because I was outside, like exercising. And this kid just looks at me like, is that even you? You know that look? She's like, on FaceTime. So I literally took my glasses off and took my ponytail out of my hair.
I had to show her.
Yeah.
You're like,
it's really me. It's really me. Yeah. So she was great help, and it turned out good. And they're very happy and stuff. So we had that one. And then we had, let's see, I've got some lots still for sale. I had a reduction on Fairview. There's 2 lots in Spring Hill, and they're buildable. It's just under, that one for $80,000. I just reduced that. It's just under an acre.
Oh, nice.
It's very nice location, right next to the Sun Coast. If you have to, if you work in Tampa, it's easy to, obviously to get back and forth. And it's by school, and it's by Publix, and it's next to a big recreational center. So it's a great location.
You said that's close to an acre. Is any of it wetlands, or is it all buildable?
No, it's all buildable. Should be.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's.
you have to get the survey and elevation. And stuff
It's flood X, which means no flood insurance.
Awesome.
But you can see it's right next to the house with the pool home and all that. So the houses are all nice, and they're all mixed too. So it's like there's some new homes, there's some 1990 homes, but that area it turns out, as far as great location, but also there's a mix of like younger, older, pretty much like a mix. They call them, so if you get a builder, they'll call it a scattered lot, which means that, it's not a HOA where you're going to pay a monthly fee, but then you also, some of the scatter lots, like one house would be 1980, one will be 1970.
Because they'll build at different times.
Yeah.
It's not like a community that's mass planned.
Right, but you don't have the CDD and you don't have the HOA, so there's no extra fees there. So it's even though you save money in the long run, you know what I mean? Because the HOA fees, you're going to, like the ones you're showing, they have the HOA fees. Yes. And some of them have the CDDs, whereas if you get a scattered lot, and if you're looking for a lot, I have a builder who builds on the scattered lots too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So if you buy your own lot, or if you have a lot, I have this builder and just does a great job and stuff. They take about, I mean, right now I want to say it's like, because this builder's like from ground up, it's like probably a year to build it, but then you get exactly what you want.
So they're custom.
Yeah. So it's not just like, I mean, he has some plans and stuff, and they're actually really good price and stuff. I have one that's about to be completed, should be this month, and then I have one that isn't going to be till I think like the summer with this builder, and he's actually really good as far as bang for buck, like square foot still good.
Will they do additions? Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we're under contract.
Addition on a pre-existing?
On an existing. We're looking to build like a whole, I want to call it a mother-in-law suite, but it's not a suite. Like we want like a whole additional mother-in-law, but it needs to be under the same roof per the zoning codes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he may, depending on the county.
Pasco.
Oh, it is Pasco. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can ask him.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And and then you can see, I mean, the designs and stuff like that. He obviously built his own house, and you can see some of them, and he's like, I took this room and moved it here, and so he's actually really good. But so that's on the scatter lots. And I have Boyd, I want to say, is another lot. This lot, Broad, not Boyd. I'm getting everything all backwards, but Broad's available with my stunning photos there. And Petunia is still available. Trying to think. Petunia, and then on Commercial Way, that property is available. It was reduced to, let's see, there's my Petunia.
Oh, wow. You've got them all the way down into Northport?
Yeah. Want to buy one? Want to buy it? Send me a customer. Come on. And then this one's Brooksville. Well, Wikiwashi Brooksville. It's 1.5. That one's just, it's 20 acres, but only part of it's buildable.
But it's 20 acres.
Yeah.
So if you need more than 20 acres to build, what are you building?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so far I've had homeowners interested from up north because the way it sits, it's just off of US 19. Well, it's considered US 19, but it has like kind of like a road, like a driveway that goes to it. Okay. And it has like a lake or a pond on one side, a lake or a pond on one side. So it's kind of like an island, actually. Okay. So it's nice if you were going to build a home. But a lot of people, the last one I had was, I had the homeowner, and then I also had someone with new construction for a townhouse too. But I'm going to show you guys some more listings in just a second. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Jessie Walters.
And I'm Shannon Minsch.
We're from Charles Rutenberg. Welcome back. Yeah, so I have a couple more listings, and a couple, I have to tell you guys a story too on this one listing. It wasn't hilarious at the time, but I think you guys will find it hilarious. But so I have Stagecoach, which we don't have to go through all the pictures on it. On this one, it's pending. We already signed all the paperwork. And actually we can show a couple of pictures of it, but it was all totally redone. This house is like a 1985, but they redid the whole inside to make it.
Yeah,
it looks
it's gorgeous.
It looks brand new inside. It looks like new construction side, because pretty much it is. Everything was replaced in this house, from the kitchens to the floors to the, crown molding to the baseboards. And it just really looks good. Paint, everything. The people that are purchasing it are from Indiana, so they're so excited to move to Florida. And the paperwork should be done by tomorrow. So this should be sold by tomorrow. And it was nice seeing everybody so happy and it going together. And we did stuff that we normally wouldn't do. Like we did, contingency on their contract, in Indiana, and they sent me the contract and I went over it and I made sure that the contract looked legit. We had to wait for their financing to go through, and their financing went through. And so normally stuff like that, like 6 months ago, we were like, contract, no, yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah. So now, and we did FHA and we did all the stuff that 6 months ago, I would say that the owners would tell me to go, forget it, we're not going to do it. So the only thing FHA lately is that I always talk about this stuff, but this one, actually my seller already did it, but the water heater has they put the pan underneath. The pan used to get flagged with FHA. Well, now there's like this little tube that comes out.
The TPR.
Yeah.
Pipe.
Yeah.
So many times it's flagged for me too.
Yeah.
It comes up all the time.
Yes. I'm like, I don't know. It's a piece of PVC and it goes out of the valve and it goes into the pan. And they're like, I did it. I'm like, okay, good. So the FHA guy, there was one, and we missed a smoke detector. Okay. And the FHA inspector was so cool and that he didn't even say, I'm going to come back out and charge a reinspection fee, which they normally do. He actually said, send me a picture of and we did it immediately that day. Within like an hour or two, we had you sent him a picture. Okay, you're all approved, appraised out. Everything is good. We're good to go.
Nice.
Yeah, so everything went good. And everything was just touch wood because it's really tomorrow. But we already signed, and then they already signed, so it's in FedEx. So,
awesome.
So FedEx, don't mess this up for me. So
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, FedEx, but I'll come get you. I know where you live. But I didn't realize that so many FedEx, well, not FedEx, but Amazon, they drive their own cars now. And so they just show up and you see like some car out front of your house, and because I drive everywhere. Yeah. And I was like, someone gonna, like, I'm showing a house and there's someone pulls up and I'm like, are they going to kill me? Like, what are they doing outside?
What are your intentions?
Yeah. I'm like, I have a sharpshooter in here. Oh, sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
I get very sketched out.
Yeah.
It's dangerous being a real estate agent. Yeah. Especially as a woman.
Yeah. You're in someone's house, first of all, and then you're waiting for your clients. So I was like, I'll just go back out to my car because there's someone out in the driveway that I don't know. That's not my client. And I start like, freaking myself out. Yes. And then I look and it's a Amazon guy, and he's so nice, and I felt so bad because in my head I was like, I'm gonna call 911. And I need that, like, how was your delivery today? Excellent. You know how they say put a smiley face, but it wasn't my house. So, but yeah. So anyway, just note for, I guess, for the future. But I also had Alamanda Street. Let's see, 8702 Alamanda Street, Hudson. That one was for rent. And that one, there was an application on it. Just want to update you guys because that one it says $1,495, but it was rented for $1,200. That kind of gives you an idea of what's going on with the market and stuff as far as rentals. There's still a shortage, so you still get a lot of people inquiring on them. And then I had 5920 Madison Street. This home is downtown city, Newport Richey. This one was actually rented for $13,000. And this one is the one I have to tell you guys a story on. This house, and you would think this house was sought after. Both of them, I mean, hundreds of emails I have. Sure. To the point where, I mean, people will say, your voicemail's full, but it's just because when you get the rentals, they're like, I'm looking. So the one on Madison Street, I get this call, and she says, we're meeting you there today, and I had already rented it. And I said, no, sorry, you have the wrong number at first, and she said, no, it's 5920 Madison Street. And I said, yeah, that property's already rented. Your name, and she told me her name, and I said, you're not my tenant. And she said, well, what about this name? This is my mother-in-law. She's the one that sent you the money. And I said, I have never received money from your mother-in-law. And then she sent me a driver's license, supposedly of the person who owns the house, who copied the whole rental ad from Realtor.com and put it on Craigslist.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And this is the second time it's happened. So I knew that I had to call the police and tell them, but it's not a 911 call. It's a non-emergency. And we were on Sunday. And so they told me to come in and make a report. But of course, it's a fine line because there's no fraud against me, even though they're copying everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's fraud against the actual poor tenant that sent $1,000 to via Cash App and lives in another state. So yeah, so it's kind of it was a nightmare for them. And so I went to the police department and they said, like I was telling you on the break, the police officer I knew, and she said, I can't even believe people still go on Craigslist with all the stuff on TV about Craigslist,
Yeah,
and,
no, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I've had it before with Nina. She'd come on. She owns a furniture store, and she was looking for a rental in between having her house built. And I said, here's all the rentals. And she said, okay, I'm going to look myself too. She went on Craigslist and she sent me pictures. And she said, this house is only $1,000 a month. And the house should have been like $1,400. It was all brand new. And I said, that doesn't seem right. And then she said, oh, well, they said all I have to do is send them a deposit. And I said, well, did you have to do a background check? And she said, no, I didn't have to do a background check. And I said, well, if you were them, because she's super highly educated. And I said, if you were them, wouldn't you want you to do a background check? And she said, well, I told them that I was a teacher and I told them my education. And they said, wow, I sounded perfect. And she goes, oh gosh, you're right. Yeah. So
they're always going to do a background check. Yeah. They're always going to do a credit check.
Yeah.
I mean, the rental scams are insane right now.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And I get called on them a lot. But what I would say is just to kind of like, if you're looking for a rental, look it up and see if it is for sale. Because like you said, you had it on Realtor.com. I would kind of bounce around on the address and see if you can find it on multiple places and see if you can get access to a listing agent like Zillow. Yeah. If it's a house for sale, should usually have.
So she had cross-checked. I mean, I know that you were saying too that you had one for sale, right? And they were trying, then they'd copied it to scam for rent. Well, so some realtors will, and I'm not saying they get lazy, but on the rentals, there's so much demand. So we have the combo codes. And so sometimes they'll say, you know what, I'll give you, like someone will sound good and they'll just give them the combo. Well, that's on her scam. Nina someone had gotten the combo code so they could get into a lockbox. So then they even look more legit. So now you're calling them and they're saying, here's the code. You just go ahead in. But then they had someone coming in right after just to put the key in the mailbox, which is another red flag. Yeah. So then the next one comes in with the mailbox. Yeah. So anyway, that one was.
These scammers are getting so smart. It's insane.
So the police on the one I had, the police officer said that they checked the Cash App and where it went, and it was another person's name, and it was like it didn't match the fake driver's license. I guess they had sent them. They went as far as showing their ID. They went as far as see, that's a picture of which you can't see any of the identification on it. You can't really see their address. It looks like a Florida driver's license.
Yeah.
And I showed the police officer, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, look how blatant!" But yet there's no identification on it. You can't even see it.
Well, and like even if it is. Like it may or may not even be her in that picture because it's so blurry.
That's why I said it could have been a future tenant trying to prove who they are. And then they blurred it out because they're showing now. So say I want to rent a house and they go, we just need your driver's license. Now they have me. Now they're pretending to be me. And that could have happened too. Because that's why I told the police officer. And she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that, which is true. She might just have some poor other tenant that wanted to,
It's such a hard thing because, I mean, as a real estate agent, there's so much demand for rentals that a lot of times the rentals, they're not being listed on MLS. They don't need to, right? Yeah. They're just up on Zillow or Realtor.com. And then people come to us, but I'll be really honest, like most of these rentals aren't paying the agent anything. If you get $50 or $100, like that's pretty standard. Right. And so most agents really aren't working with rentals anymore because they're going to spend more in gas trying to find a rental than they're actually going to get paid from it. But it's kind of one of the only ways to be certain that it's not a scam. Right. So it's kind of a tough thing because there is such a high demand. Yeah. But agents really aren't involved in the rental side of things as much anymore to help people.
Yeah, unless you're the direct listing agent.
But I think that the background check is a good thing. Like they should be asking for maybe $150 background check fee or a $75 background check fee before they ask for a $1,000 deposit.
Right.
So I hadn't heard that one, but I think that that's probably a good red flag if they're not wanting to do a background check.
Right, exactly.
They just want you to send them a boatload of money.
Yeah.
Like,
you sound
red
good.
flag.
And people, because I think that they are used to being, if you're an honest person and then you talk to someone and they go, you're an honest person, it's you're like, oh, you feel connected, you feel like they know you, but they just got into your head. Because if you're an honest person, then and you're used to people that aren't honest, you should be more skeptical. You know what I mean? You'd be like, I'm not sure if you're the real deal or not, you know?
Yeah, but I think we always want to see the good in people, you know?
True.
And so it's like you assume, like, I'm a good person. I would never screw people over like that.
Yeah.
So you kind of don't want to think other people are that way either. But we're just in such a day and age where we always have to protect ourselves because everyone is trying to find a come up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so when I have the rental application, so say if you were going to rent a house from me, I would say, first I would show you the house. I would physically go out and meet you and show you the house. Or if you had an agent, that agent would physically go out and meet you. And then the next step would be, I'll send you the link for the credit report. You're going to pay $50 each person that lives, each adult. And then I would say, the pet deposit's usually like $250. And then the security amount is usually close to the first month's rent. Well, this one had the pet deposit at $100, which to me is a red flag, but to them, they didn't know. It said dogs are okay in the listing. Pet deposit $100 each.
You know a dog's going to do more damage than $100.
Yeah, exactly. And the flea spray and all that stuff. And then the other red flag was that usually the rents are far less. And so when I have the whole letter and stuff, but it says something to the extent of, hi, I'm a first time landlord and I'm just looking for a good person. So you'll find that this rent is far less than the whole neighborhood.
If it's like, too good to be true, it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So the same with Nina, when I said, hey, did they run your credit? She said, no, they just said I sounded good, and like that was a red flag for her. Of course. And so, you just have to be aware of things. But on Madison, that tenant actually went on realtor.com and saw my name and stuff and then put it together and then said, wait a minute, this is what's going on? And is this you? Am I talking to you or not? Years ago, I had one in Newport Richey and they had gone as far as to go on the property appraiser and get my name off there. And then when I pulled up, the lady had a lease with my name. She said, I've been talking to Jessie Walters the whole time. And I was like, I'm Jessie Walters.
Oh, good.
And I have not been talking to you. Yeah. And she was like, well, I sent all these Amazon gift cards.
Why would you pay your rent in Amazon gift cards?
Because the person on the phone told her that her son was sick and she was out of state and she's going to have to, that's the only way to get in there. And she went as far as to say, just go ahead and get, one of the windows is open, just get in there. So I got a call.
Stop it.
Yeah, I got a call and someone had seen her in there sweeping and they said, your tenant's there sweeping up stuff. And then the painters were there. They pulled in. They said, your tenant's here. I said, I don't have a tenant on that one. And it wasn't a real good area and stuff. And I was like, oh no. So
you thought you had a squatter?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I speeded there. And so, yeah, I'm like, I need a reality show where the people follow me. Cause I can't even make this stuff up. So I went there and she had all these kids and they were all trying to help her clean. And she said, I had sent all these. So then I wasn't sure if she was scamming me, pretending like she got scammed. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So
you're like, who is the scammer?
Yeah.
Who's the mastermind of
yeah.
this?
So I was like, gosh, that's so smart. But she didn't have a car. And I was like, how did you even get here? I took a bus. Yeah, she took a bus to get there. And
that poor lady.
Yeah. So she rented me from me for like a year. I let her get in with hardly any deposit because she had sent it to the scammer. So then when I got this other scam call, I was like, are the scammers scamming me now? Or are they scamming them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was confused, but yeah. So
well, I would just say, and maybe this is just me, but no legitimate person is ever going to ask for you to pay a deposit in Amazon gift cards. Or gift cards of any kind. Xbox gift cards, Amazon gift cards.
Exactly.
None of that. Like, unfortunately, the horse ball I have for my Great Dane and my Amazon cart waiting is not going to pay my mortgage.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
That's
there's
not
that.
legitimate.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, so I've seen a lot of rental scams. That was the latest one, but 5920 Madison is rented. But I just had to tell you guys that story. And the city of
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was city of Newport Richey, so I had to go to Newport Richey Police Department, make the report, and then the poor lady, she had froze the Cash App, but the police think it went through, and then it went to Africa, the money. So yeah, so and the other scam was out of like another state, but locally. As soon as if you send that money Zelle or you send that money Cash App or you send that money, just basically Amazon gift cards or Walmart gift card, whatever, however you're sending that money, that's a scam. And it's like you said, a red flag, or if they just say, just take pictures. And she had pictures of all of them that she took the code and sent them, every single one of them to them to make sure she got the house and stuff. And then she got in the house and hated the house and moved out after a year. I'm like, you caused me so much stress. Just move on. I don't need any more stress.
It was not meant to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I was like, did she scam me? I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, that house ended up getting sold. But anyway, so that was that one. And then I'm trying to think, I think that was all. Oh, so I have new listings coming. I've got a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, Land O'Lakes.
Nice.
Yeah. 2-story house, located in, gosh, I should have wrote that down. Right next to Bexley, but it's not Bexley. And so I want to say it's Sunset Point. Basically, it's right off 54. And right by the Suncoast. Great location. And like I said, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. They're relocating, so it's going to be.
Those are good schools over there too.
Yeah, price less than the 400s too, so it's a nice price point and stuff too. Yeah, great schools. Mm-hmm. And then I have another one coming, Newport Richey. It's a 2-story home. Again, this one, the one in Newport Richey, I've come in. It's again it's in the 3s, and we haven't really nailed down the price and stuff. But it has those homes that look like they're up north, or like kind of like the A-frame, but you walk up the stairs and they look like they're up north. It's a very, very pretty house. So those are coming soon. So you guys, we're going to take a quick break, sit tight, and we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. I'm Jessie Walters.
And I'm Shannon Minsch.
And we're from Charles Rutenberg. And we're just talking about the latest and the greatest real estate stuff that's going on. One is not to get scammed if you're looking for a rental, don't get scammed. And if, we were talking about realtors helping you. If you have a realtor who wants to help you get a list, to get listings, and they don't have time because we were saying that, gas money and all that stuff. What you can do is what I do for my clients is I set them up on an auto or rentals. And then they get the first, the first day it's on the market, the rental goes to them. And then I give them the listing agent's direct numbers and stuff, the ones that they want them to call on. And that way they have a direct, they can deal with them. They don't get ripped off. They know they got to do the credit report, they're all set up and stuff like that.
Yeah. If it's going through a legitimate agent through MLS, at that point, it's not going to be a scam.
Right.
So that's at least nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we were talking about, the listings and stuff like that. If anyone is interested in running their own business, I have a tire shop in Hudson on State Road 52. It is 9334 State Road 52 in Hudson, and it's going to be $450,000. And it's with the building, which is just under an acre, right next to Dunkin' Donuts. In fact, you almost have to run into their parking lot to get to Dunkin' Donuts. It's a great location.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to be putting that one up on Friday. if anyone's looking for another job or a new business, or if you don't want a tire shop and you want to, take the tires out and do something different like mechanic, or I know I put it up on my personal Facebook page, and I had someone contact me and ask if they could put a bar in there. And I don't know, but yesterday I heard that a liquor license that was in St. Petersburg was like $700,000. I don't know if that's accurate.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but the liquor licenses used to be a couple $100,000, and I don't know how much they are in Pasco. This is in Pasco. But they said, "Can I make it into a bar?" And I said, maybe. I don't know. I could find out if you're serious. But so the liquor, it'd be ironic if the liquor license is more than the actual building and the actual materials.
Well, that's what makes the money, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I was telling that to another customer, and she said, "Well, that's why drinks are so expensive when you go out then, because if liquor licenses are that much money." I'm like, I have no idea. But so a tire shop / liquor store or whatever, Yeah, I have no idea. But so that's going to be a great location. And like I said, it's right next to Dunkin' Donuts. There's right across the street is a high school. So you have like all the, families going in and out there too. So it's just a really prime location. There's a car wash. There's Wawa, there's Publix within like walking distance of it. So it's a great location.
Awesome.
So it's for the money and stuff. So that's going to be for sale Friday. Sign probably won't be up till next week, but it'll be on the MLS and the LoopNet. And I think they had listed it probably like a year or so ago for like, I want to say like a lot higher. So it's reduced now and ready to sell. So that's a good opportunity. So what are you seeing with buyers lately as far as what's trending for you right now?
I'm still getting a lot of out-of-state buyers, which is nice. I feel like post-COVID, everyone now is working remote. And so everyone's coming to Florida, which is great for us. Like we're seeing a lot, or I'm hearing a lot from other areas in the country that their markets are slowing. And I'm just not really, I'm seeing it a little here, but I'm not seeing it come to a standstill, which is really nice. But you know what I'm really getting a lot of is so many of my people who want to be buyers are so sketched out by the interest rates being where they're at and the prices being where they're at. And so they're like, is it a good time to buy? Is the market going to go down? Are the rates going to go down? And I mean, I don't know what your answer is to that, but I feel like I'm getting it all the time. And my answer is it's always a good time to buy.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I've been doing creative financing as far as, so some of my first time home buyers, I'm like, I work backwards with them. I'm like, well, what do you want your payment to be around?
Right.
Well, how much do you have down?
What are you paying in rent right now?
Yeah, exactly. So the one I had was paying like around $2,000. The other one I had was paying around $1,600. I'm like, so, and then work that mortgage to where I'm like, okay, $1,600, you're at like $260, you're paying $2,000, $2,100. I can get you around $300, $335. So I'm, you know what I mean? So I can kind of work backwards and go like, okay, so unfortunately, 200 is going to be like in the 200, like less than 300. You're going to be in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. You know what I mean? Right now, will that work for you? If it will work for them, then I go forward and I go, okay. So I've been doing that, but the interest rate buy downs sometimes
are helping a lot.
Yeah. So sometimes I say, well, if we need closing costs before I even go out, before they even get excited about the house, I'll call the other realtor and say, hey, do you think that they're open to this? And if they say, absolutely not, this is their price, I say, I don't think this is a house for us. We need some closing costs. We need, or interest rate buy down, or whatever it is bothering them. If the interest rates are too high, then we'll talk about interest rate buy downs. If their down payment is their thing, then we'll talk about closing costs. Yeah. So,
I mean, I think like a lot of people, life is expensive today.
Yeah.
Inflation is high, life is expensive. But I actually read a statistic a couple weeks ago and I was like, mind blown. If you save $28 a day, which sounds like a lot, but I'm just going to throw this out here. This is an $8 Starbucks. Okay. And
you must be rich.
I mean, you would think so, but no. But and so I'm not judging anyone. Like obviously I spend it too, but that's an $8 Starbucks. Like how much are you spending on DoorDash? How much are you spending on going out and buying those expensive cocktails that you just talked about?
Yeah.
And so $28 a day would give you $10,000 in 1 year.
Yeah.
that you spend. And again, it's like, I made the joke about the stupid horse ball for my dog. Like, I think about what I waste on Amazon, on DoorDash, on Starbucks. And it's just like, $10,000. I mean, I bought my first house with $10,000 down. It was an FHA loan, and it was 3.5% down. It was $282, I think, was how much we paid for our first house, which doesn't buy you as much now. But we borrowed against my husband's 401k. For that we didn't have 10,000. We just got married. So I just spent all that on a wedding. And so we borrowed 10,000 against his 401k. Right now, the stock markets are pretty low. So you're not making a ton of money in the stock markets. Like, why not borrow against your 401k or cut back on your DoorDash and Starbucks? And then $10,000 you bring to the table. The sellers are now willing to negotiate closing costs.
Right, exactly.
And I even think, like, if a house has been sitting for a couple of weeks and, if you ask the sellers, hey, are you willing to pay closing costs? They may say no. But if you send an offer in writing and they're not receiving any other offers, they're stressing right now because sellers got so in their heads about, I'm going to put this house on the market in 2 days. I'm going to have 20 offers. It's going to go for $50,000 above asking, no appraisal, like that's what they're still expecting. So now their house is sitting for 3 or 4 weeks without an offer and they're panicking.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't need to, like the market is just neutralizing.
Yeah. Then they're watching the news I think the news is talking about, like you said, not Florida, because even yesterday, someone asked me, how's the market everywhere I go? How's the market? And I said, it's going well. Like I'm listing, by the end of this month, I'll have 3 new listings.
There's houses on the market. They're there. You're getting listings now.
So there's houses listed. I'm selling house. Everything for me is going well. I know that some of our realtor friends who just kind of got into the business and stuff like that, they don't have the referral base.
Correct.
And they're sitting there. Like my one friend, she hasn't sold anything in like 6 months, and I help her. And she's new to the business and stuff like that. So I told her, like I was saying this last week, if you guys are realtors watching, put your realtor tag on, talk to your friends, go out in the public, still do your hair, still put, still go out like it's a job, meet some people. They may not be your clients now, but you're building that where they go, oh, there's that realtor. Let's ask her a question.
It's a long game for sure. I got licensed in Florida like months after I moved here, and I grew up here, but I didn't grow up in Tampa. And I had been across the country for a decade. So I really, I knew my best friend who lived off Bayshore and that was it. Like I didn't know anyone else. And so, I joined every social group I could. I run the Tampa Bay Seahawks, Seattle Seahawks watch party. I got associated with a clean water initiative. I got involved with the PTA. I didn't have a sphere of influence for that referral base. I had to create it.
Right.
And now because I did put all that work in on the front end, really making connections and not being salesy, but building genuine relationships.
I was able. You're a social person anyway. I think it comes natural. And then they go, oh, because I say to some of my friends who are like, well, if I buy a house, I'm gonna buy it from you instead of so-and-so who just got licensed. And I say, oh, it's so nice or whatever. Thanks for thinking of me. But I'm like, we get to hang out for 3 months solid. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be going, it's going to be fun instead of I'm just your friend, so I can sell you a house, or you know what I mean? Because I would hate for my friends to think that, as far as just being like, are you going to buy your house? You're going to sell your house? If you're too, then people just unfriend you on Facebook and Instagram anyway.
You never want to be that used car salesman.
Yeah, exactly. No matter what you're doing,
you have to build relationships with people. But I've stayed very busy. Even during the neutralizing of the market, and I think it's because of all of those relationships that I really built when I first moved here.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's such a long game. And if you're just now getting into the business, I think it is probably you're probably going to have a little bit of a tough road ahead of you. But you put the work in now, and then as the market starts picking up, you're going to be in a good place. You just can't get super frustrated.
And if you have that niche where say there was this one guy, he was a fireman, and he would work and he still was a fireman, and then on the weekends and then his days off, he would help his people he worked with and stuff like that. I was like, that's great, because I always my one I was mentoring, my one friend now, she I was like, don't quit your day job. And she was like, I think I'm going to quit my day. And I was like, no,
don't do it.
Keep the day job until you get more clientele and stuff like that. Don't don't just leave yourself where you can't go to dinner or you can't have a life, you know.
Oh, it's stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I was in banking before real estate. And so I did a lot with like the lending side of things. We did refinances and stuff. I didn't do new home purchases under my lending license, but I could do refinances. So I understand a huge piece of that and just the market in general. But when I moved here, I got licensed immediately and I didn't have another real source of income. I mean, my husband obviously worked, but that was a stressful year.
Yeah,
exactly. That was a super stressful year.
Yeah, you're like, darn it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and when the market crashed and stuff, I was talking about that last night because someone said, because I love kids and I was always volunteering at my kids' schools and stuff like that. So when I was there the one day volunteering, they were like, you should be a substitute teacher. And I was like, well, I have time now. And kids are at the time before I became a substitute teacher, I said, kids are my passion. I would love to do that. So I went to the classes and I went in there and they were like, we got a special class for you. And I thought it was because they liked me. And then when I got out of there, I was like, I think that they hate me.
They were hazing you.
Yeah.
They were hazing you.
This kid came up and he did like a backflip off the wall and broke his glasses like 2 seconds in. And I was like, you're going to have to go sit down. And then I don't know, you're not really allowed to give them timeout. So, but you're allowed to flip their card. So I was like one of those, I'm going to flip your card. And I flipped the card. And then I was like, I'm never going back.
Did they care? Like, is a card flip enough incentive for them to not behave poorly?
Yeah, no, I would think they did not care at all. The little kid was just, and he broke his glasses. He's like, I'm going to the front desk because I broke my glasses. I said, no, just sit down. So he got up and went to the front desk. And I was like, I want to go to the front desk. My phone doesn't even work in here. I got to get out of this place.
Yeah, no.
It lasted like a week. And then, so then my paycheck came and I stopped there. And I'm not trying to talk you guys out. If you guys are more patient than me and you want to substitute teach, God bless you. You're just more patient.
Yeah, bless your heart. I do not have the patience.
It's not that, I mean, I do have patience and stuff. It's not even, it's more that you can't, you're like a kind of like a prisoner because you can't say that, you can't really raise your voice.
There's no real discipline.
And the only thing you can do is flip a card and you go sit down. The kid's like, I'm not going to sit down.
The teacher's hands are so tied now.
I was like a victim in there. I felt like a victim, but
Did you get PTSD from substitute teaching for a week?
I feel like I did, but I would suggest if you like kids, I mean, I think before you go in and get like a long degree in education, maybe become a substitute teacher. Cause I think I made like $20 less than an actual license, with having the education stuff. I just took the class. And then when my paycheck came, I think it was like for the couple of days, they took out so much taxes and stuff like that. It was a couple $100. And then the market then all of a sudden I got a call and it was like, you want to list this house? And we're looking for a house. And I was like, oh, we're back on.
Oh, thank goodness I don't have to do this anymore.
So I was like, I am blessed. Yeah, thank God.
I don't have that. I love my children. They're very sweet angels. But I could never. I used to volunteer in my daughter's class occasionally, and I just felt like it was like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, they're like,
they're just all over the place.
I say that, but I'm volunteering again at soccer. But soccer is different for me because I used to play soccer, and so you're like teaching, but they're little kids and stuff like that. And they want to learn, they're all excited, and you're outside and they're screaming outside. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I think it's different. Yeah. You're not trying to get them like focused on an actual...
they're not staying still. They're running around. They're chasing ball. That's fine, So I've done the soccer thing too. And then when they get to a certain age where they're like, I don't really want to run, then I'm like, I'm out. I'm out again.
I always tell them you have to run until you don't hate it anymore.
Yeah.
You have to run through the hate.
Yeah.
That's what nobody likes to run until you love it. It's like, it's one or the other.
So I did my daughter's, so it's like 4 years old to like 12. And then they become like, usually they'll go competitive or they might still do rec, but my kids want to go competitive.
Sure.
So they're like, do you want to teach competitively? And now it was at the age where they were all like, I don't really feel like running. I'm really tired. And my kids were like the leaders of the pack. And I was like, go run to the fence and back. And they're like, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, do it or these kids are going to listen to me. But
like if you won't listen, how are they supposed to listen?
But it's different when they're your kids and they're mixing them. And so anyway, my new volunteer gig is, they put me with 4-year-olds, which I feel like I can relate to, 4 to 6-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, they're still sweet at that. I was going to say, it's a sweet age.
A sweet age where it's like the ball's there and they're like a little beehive running after it.
Mhm.
And that's cute, but when they're, when they start talking back, I'm like, okay, they're yours,
Yeah.
So like, I think it's like 8. Now I said that they'll give me like 8-year-olds when I go in, like 8 where they're like, I don't know why we have to do that. I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, that's funny. But yeah, there's your website.
Oh, yeah.
Flashing it up.
Yeah. It's we live where
love
they
that, people.
vacation.com.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks for joining me today and appreciate you.
Thanks for inviting
coming in.
me.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Talking about real estate, our jam. Yeah, we never get enough of it. It's a nice website. I have a website that, gosh, I have to update the listings and stuff on there. That poor website gets abused. It's
It's like the last thing you even
I know
think
when
about.
you're busy. Yeah, like, oh my gosh, I need to take a day, and then I see there it is.
I have mine set up where any listings that I have, it
Just
automatically pushes mine in first ahead of all the other ones that it
that's good.
highlights.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
Yeah.
it makes me lazy. I don't have to do as much on that.
That's good. Well, that's on the videos. They go, well, it's not magical. They do it for me. They put them on YouTube too. So this will be on YouTube and it'll be on Facebook too.
Awesome.
And I want to thank Freddie Rapina for our sponsorship. He's at Opta Financial, and he also does real estate investing, or tells you how to do real estate investing as well as investments too. So he does both at the same time. So if you have any clients who want to do like rentals and they want to leverage things, he's the guy for that. So
Awesome.
He's great. Yeah. So you guys have a blessed day, and thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.